Morning, guys. It's the next day. Last night all my family came over and we had babies everywhere, and so didn't get back out here to do anything more than what I had done on this. So today, same deal. My son's here still, but they're asleep. It's 8:20 this morning, and so I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this, see if I can't get a little progress on it done. So I'll grind these little beads down here, strip that down real good. I'm gonna put some weld through primer on the back side of it. I'll pop some holes in this, so when I put it on there, it'll be welded to this panel, and then, like I said, I'll stitch weld or seam or whatever you want to call that, all this here, and we'll see how she turns out. All right, guys, I'll bring you back when I get something worth talking about. See ya. Hey guys, got this prepped up with weld through primer, and I'll grind back this edge here to where I get me a good clean. I don't have to try to weld through that. And I went ahead and popped, like I said, these little holes. You can see them just every so often, random spots up the top and the bottom. So when I put that in there, then I can go ahead and weld it down to that. So all right, I'm gonna start welding that in, and I'll bring you back as I get a little progress, get it tacked in type stuff, and we'll see you then. See you. Hey guys, hate's such a strong word, so I'm gonna kind of turn it back a little bit and say I really dislike weld through primer. It really has a tendency to screw your welds up, but I went ahead and ground away here the weld through that was coming through, just so I could get a little bit better tacks, because it's just got ugly. This stuff here is so thin that I'm really having to just try to baby it to get it, and you can see here where it burned away real bad. I'm trying to bridge that and get that in there, but that's going to take some work and a lot of cooling and trying to keep it, you know, but I'll get it there. But yeah, got the plugs in, and got me some little tacks going, and basically all I got to do is just keep, I'll tack, and I'll tack, and I'll tack, and I'll tack, and I'll just keep filling them in until all the tacks are filled in, and then grind it down. So I mean, it's not anything super hard, it's just time consuming, so I wouldn't want to keep their camera rolling for you to sit here and do this. But and then this little section here, we already talked about me making some kind of piece out of this and fitting it in there somehow. So anyway, yeah, I think it'll be a pretty good repair. That's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be nice. Not going to have near as much filler in it as it would have had I not put this in there, so I'm kind of happy about that. You know, less filler is better. So anyway, yeah, once I get that all tacked in and everything, I'll bring you back, or after I get it all stitched in where it's completely done, I'll bring you back and let you look at it. And so I'll probably grind these tacks down. You'll see a lot of guys do that. I think James Freddy's used to do that. Once I get a few more in, I'll just start grinding them down. That way I get good penetration on the rest of the welds. If you don't, it tends to, if I understand correctly, what it does is, say I lay a tack right next to that tack, well, that tack takes up some of the heat, so it doesn't get as good a penetration. So if you grind that bubble off there, then it's going to get good penetration. You can see that from the back side of the weld normally. You can see if you, because I've done it to where I've just done beads next to each other, and you'll have a good, like this one right here will be good penetration through, and then the rest of them will be barely coming through, because they're soaking up the heat from the rest of them, is from what I understand. But if you grind that down, then you tend to get a better penetration. And right here we need good penetration because this is a structural part of the body here. So as we did over here, on this little guy, it's not a big a deal because it's not structural. That's just cosmetic. So yeah, just to fill that in and make that look nice. And like I said, I put a plug weld there so it isn't going anywhere. But I didn't want to burn all the way through both panels on this one because it's unnecessary. But this, on the other hand, yes, I want good penetration here because we don't want this popping loose. Like I said, you're gonna get out in the sun, you're gonna be at car shows, 100 degrees outside, and this thing's 130 degrees, and it starts swelling and doing its thing. And yeah, when it starts moving, if your welds didn't penetrate good, then you're gonna end up, this pops loose or moves too much at all, you're gonna have a nice little crack down through here. So all your work's gonna have pretty much went to shit, and you're gonna have to come back in here and cut all this out, or remove all your work, re-weld that, then do that, and then try to blend that all back in, and you don't want to do that. So we want to make sure that's in there nice and good, nice and whatever the word is, good, I guess, and have good penetration and everything. So all right, like I said, those are just tacks. Those aren't actual, I'm not hitting it hard yet. Those are just to hold it in place. So yeah, I'm gonna start getting after it here in a little bit. So I'll bring you back, see you. All right, here's what we got. That's just a lot of little tacks I just went ahead and filled in. And now what I'm gonna do, I just wanna show you that before I grind all that down. I'm gonna go ahead and grind all those down flat and then start filling all those gaps in. So yep, that's it. And it's nice and cool. I didn't put a lot of heat in there because I skipped around filling in these little areas. So yep, there you go. I'll bring you back. All right, there's the tacks all ground down. So now I'll start welding these little bad boys in. Like I said, I'll jump around so I don't get too much heat in certain places, but I'll probably run 2 or 3 little stitch welds and just kind of fill these little areas in, and jump to here, and then jump over to here, and then just kind of keep doing that until I get it all filled in, and I'll get it ground down. And like I said, that's gonna make for, I think it's gonna make for a nice repair. I think I like this better than I like the other side, but the other side is what it is. So I'm not saying it's bad, it's just not as nice. I don't think it's gonna be as nice as that, and it'll have a little bit more filler in it on this side. But because I use this same piece, I remember I flapped that up and I flapped it back down. I really can't put another piece of metal over top of that. That is the piece of metal that I put over top of that. That one was just a new piece. This was the existing piece. And the problem I had was this basically, when I flapped it up, flapped it back down, flapped it up, whatever, it cracked here. So I had to weld all that up. It just got real thin, and that's what happens. Like I said, it's like a pop can tab. You keep twisting it back and forth, eventually it's gonna crack. So that's basically, so I had to stitch all that in. Like I said, this is all good repair. And I'm gonna put all metal over that so it'll be nice and smooth as a baby's butt. Then over the all metal, we'll probably put a little bit of either glazing putty or some, I don't know, we'll see when I get there, but get it all blocked down smooth, and it'll be a nice transition. So, but like I said, I think this is the way to go if anybody's considering, and I know there's 100 different ways to do this, but this seems to be a pretty nice, like I said, there's going to be very little filler in there, so I'm pretty happy with that. I should have went ahead and cut that tab off, because like I said, I twisted it up. I should have went ahead and cut it off, and took a piece like this and just did what I'm doing here, because I think, like I said, this is just going to be just a lot nicer repair. So all right guys, see ya. All right guys, got a little too much heat on that one spot. Must have been pretty thin there. Blew a hole through it, so it's going to kind of take you long for this. Some of the new guys that are just learning how to weld, I've had a couple comments on guys that are just learning how to do some of this stuff. I can't get a backer behind that because of the bracket or the braces and everything behind that. So what you would really want to do is take you a piece of copper, a piece of aluminum, and back that, and then you could fill it in, no problem. Since you can't, you have to finesse that, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just little small tacks at a time, and let it cool, and then tack a little bit more and let it cool, because otherwise you're just going to make the hole bigger and bigger and bigger. So, all right. Make sure you get the ball off the end of this, clip it off. I've already done that. You want this to be as sharp as possible. You can see I've already got a ball right here, and so I'm just going to work that down. Alright, there you go. I'll grind that down, make sure there's no holes in it, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, I may grind that down and find a little bit. It may not have filled all the way. If it does, I'll just go ahead and do the same thing. So yeah, just kind of little tip there. You can see around through here. Let me back out a little bit. I just been going ahead and filling in these little beads. You know, and that's not beautiful, but it's going to work when it's ground down. And I'll say it again, a good grinder will make a welder out of anyone. That's what a buddy of mine told me that does it professionally. So there you go. So yeah, you can see my little tacks that I've just been tacking, little buttons all the way down through here. So just still got little ones to fill in. I'll probably go ahead and grind these down again, just like I did the other ones, and then go back and fill in the rest of the gaps. But yeah, I blew through there, and I wanted to show you guys that you know, you can fill those in. It just takes a little bit of just try not to get it too hot, because the longer you stay on it, the longer you stay on that trigger, hotter it's going to get, and the more chance you're going to have to blow through it. So it's just like half-second intervals, or just zzz, zzz, you know, just a little bit at a time. And if you see it going too much orange, get off of it, let it cool, because you're getting ready to melt through. So, all right, little tip for you. Hey guys, all right, here's what I got. Not finished with this yet. I still got to go ahead and seam this all in here good and grind it down, but I was working on this mostly. And I'm pretty much done with this, and you can see all these little areas here. That's still solid metal. I've welded on top of that. Do I care if that's, you know, like that? No, don't at all. The thing I care about is that it's low. I care about it that it's low, so I'll have a spot for filler, because I've got this so nice here that it transitions is real nice, and I need to put, you know, I have to get some of that filler in here, so I need to make sure that I've got a gap all the way down through there, because you want it a little bit low so that you can put your filler in. And I'll blend that filler up probably this high, and then again a little bit low. Then I'm gonna spray my epoxy over top of that, and then I'll do a little bit of filler work over top of that, and you just build it up, build it up, build it up till you get it perfectly smooth. So yeah, and another thing is, if you grind all these down to where it's just baby ass smooth like I've done here, the more you grind on that weld, the weaker you're making it. So ultimately, because this has a little low spot, it'll be better for me not to sit and try to dress this to where it's just like it looks like one solid piece of metal, because like I said, you want that in there. Now if you're doing something to where, like here, when I split this, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. It's gonna have to be smooth and, you know, all that. But here, that was already a low channel where they had put lead in there from the factory. So Hell, I've seen guys weld, guys that are good at this, weld and leave their tacks in there and then put their stuff right over the tacks, like the little button tacks I had in there. As long as it's low, it doesn't matter. You're never going to see it again. And you know, the all metal I'm going to put in there, like I said, that'll fill everything here to where that'll just be one solid smooth area. So still haven't made this patch yet. I don't know if I'll get on that. My son and his wife and baby are still here, so I'm just kind of out here piddling. But I'll probably go back in and spend some time with them. And so anyway, yeah, pretty happy with that. Like I said, I needed to make sure that I left this a little bit low though, because I do want some of that all metal in there for waterproofing, and then of course when I go over that, I'll go over that with epoxy, which the epoxy is basically like a plastic coating. I mean, it is waterproof. So yeah, hope you guys got something out of that. I'm real happy with it. Like I said, I'm not completely done with it yet. I still got to make this patch and everything, but for the most part, and you can still see it's, you know, and the good thing for this is this comes down right here real hard at a you know, and so when I put that in there, that's pretty strong right there. So when I welded to that, it didn't warp that. Now right through here, it pulled a little bit low. Not real bad, but just right through here, just putting that heat on there just kind of sunk it down a little bit. It stops about right where my middle finger is there. And down, there's nothing, but right through here. But again, that's going to have a pretty nice fat coat through here and then sanded down. So any lows that are in there will be fixed, and if there's anything that popped up high, I'll just tap it down a little bit. So, all right, that's probably it for a little bit, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you. Hey guys, this is my grandbaby. Say hi. I'm gonna take him out in the shop. Have him work on my car with me, but I think he's just a little too small yet, so it might be a little bit. It might be a little bit. He's about 2 weeks old. And I don't know if it's ever too young to start working on cars, but I don't know. Maybe. What do you think? What do you think? So, this is baby Phoenix. I can't tell if the camera's holding right or not. What do you think, buddy? What do you think? Are you busy? Are you pretty busy? You look pretty busy. Alright guys, well, I'm watching him for a while, so I won't be out in the shop. And they trusted me with him, which is amazing. So we're gonna just hang out. So we see you guys in a little bit.